Hello, my name is Krista Grill. I'm enrolled at Grand Canyon University pursuing a master's degree in leadership. Thank you for listening today. I'm here to talk to you about an overwhelming failure in communication in the workplace, costing money and relationships among healthcare providers. Located in Olympia, Washington, Providence St. Peter sits nestled in the beauty of trees and nature. This organization's mission statement goes as follows: as expression of God's healing love, witnessed through the ministry of Jesus, we steadfast in serving all, especially those who are poor and vulnerable. In upholding the mission, the hospital preaches values of compassion, dignity, justice, excellence, and integrity. With such expectations for excellence, Providence St. Peter holds a magnet status, encompassing up to date practices, holding employees to a higher standard, and maintaining excellence. In a hospital that always striving towards excellence, an area that needs improvement is in communication among healthcare providers. The proposed strategic goal is the need of formal communication channel is imperative at Providence St. Peter. By the start of the new year, employees at Providence St. Peter will utilize the chain of command when a complaint or problem is identified and needs to be reported, in turn, fostering the growth of communication among healthcare providers. SWOT analysis further breaks down the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This in turn presents the current problems and the potential for a better future. This analysis also breaks down the why change needs to be made and why a goal has been set. The current strengths present are that management has excellent and a strong emphasis in encouraging healthcare providers to report problems. Consequently, this brings forth many weaknesses. Yes, problems are being reported, but the problems are being reported through an urgent operational report, or also known as a UOR. This is filled out online and sent to management. The individual reporting the problems almost never address the person directly, leaving room for no improvement. If a person is making a mistake, how are they to fix it if it is not brought to their attention? By the time management sees the report, it is in many cases months later, and the healthcare provider doesn't remember the incident. The strengths of writing a UOR is that it can be shown a trend in failure of equipment, performance, or all-around team. This can lead to new equipment being purchased if there is a failure in the system. On the other hand, if an employee is using the equipment wrong, with proper communication and demonstration of proper use, this can be fixed without having to spend money, saving the hospital. Through fostering proper means of communication, teamwork among healthcare providers can be built, and healthcare providers no longer have to fear a UOR being written. Many healthcare providers fear making a mistake because they do not want a UOR to be written on them, when in reality, this fear is hindering performance. Healthcare providers need to talk to each other and feel that they can ask questions without feeling incompetent. With the constant threat of a UOR, healthcare providers do not feel that they have any support from management. When management comes months later to solve a problem, people feel that management is disconnected from the current times. Employees crave support and encouragement from management. Stakeholders affected from the proposed goal are healthcare professionals, management, patients, future employees, analysts, and key contributors. All personnel hold a stake, either small or large, but every amount counts into making effective change for a greater good. Face-to-face communication can be very difficult and uncomfortable. Millennials have proven to dominate the workforce and excel in technology, but when it comes to face-to-face communication, there is a major disconnect. With this in mind, one thing what millennials are really good at is cell phones and texting. Emails are a thing of the past and in reality rarely get checked. Therefore, instant messaging is the next best means of millennials foster communication among each other. Instant messaging will also leave a trail of documentation that communication has occurred. Face-to-face communication would be best means of communicating, but second best is catering to the communication needs of the millennials, and which they are also proficient at. Instant messaging will be on the screens of all computers, and when a healthcare provider logs in to the computer, it will automatically present and the message sent can be seen, therefore responded to. If the healthcare provider decides to ignore it, that will also be documented. Once a UR is written, the healthcare provider can justify their actions and that they tried to communicate with another provider. Now, I'm going to state my proposed strategic plan in making the effective goal. The first means of action will be a call for a meeting preparing to all healthcare providers. At this meeting, the goal will be proposed on how to meet the goal, clarification as to how to address the chain of command, and when it is necessary to write a UR. The formal communication channel will be broken down into a hierarchy of communication and the importance of horizontal communication. The overall purpose of the meeting will be to establish a means of development, implementation, and foster open communication. After all has been said and done, the means of measuring success will be conducted through the total quality management, follow-up meetings, and comparison. In the end, management will be able to compare the number of URs written and if proper channels of communication was first addressed. There are right ways and wrong ways of conducting communication within an organization. Ensuring the right thing was said and heard are imperative to effective communication. To do just that, here are tips for management to utilize and pass on to healthcare workers to use in the workplace. Get personal. Represent facts. Be specific. Ask questions. Ask for clarification. Listen and read body language. Each tip holds its own purpose and meaning and shouldn't be discredited. Demonstrating effective communication is as important as expecting effective communication. Listening is the key to success. With all said and done, it is the presence of management that will drive the success of the goal. Management needs to be on the same page. The plan and implementation needs to be universal and respected by all management to ensure all participate. As many have heard the saying, lead by example, and in this case, it cannot be more true. Management needs to be just as effective at communicating as that of the healthcare providers. Management needs to display openness and being willing to talk to healthcare providers when a concern is present. During management encounters, there should also be motivation and encouragement. Driving people to success is done through showing and telling them they are doing a job well done. The means of showing success will be done through the total quality management utilization, with the technique of creating a quality circle. With that, a group of people will meet regularly to discuss the current progress and if the goal is being achieved. In that, numbers can also be examined and compared if healthcare providers are A, using the chain of command when there is a complaint, B, when the UR is written, was it justified, and C, did the employee better understand the mistake made. Through correction of the mistake and the healthcare providers not continuing making the same mistake, unnecessary change in equipment and technique can be prevented, saving the hospital countless amounts of money. Through meeting the goal of healthcare providers at Providence St. Peter utilizing the chain of command, morale and teamwork among healthcare providers will build, the hospital will save money, and justified complaints will be filed to no longer make unnecessary change. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the presentation.